All right, here we go. Hey, we back. Okay. Better connection. Listen, hey y'all, it's Dr. Ariel Ellis. Really excited to start back doing lives. I hadn't done a live in a long time. I've been buried in coaching and consulting. As you know, the DEI world has hey friends, and we back. Hey friends, hey friends. As you all know, the DEI world has been in high demand. So I've been really busy. My company, Advisory 83, has been really busy helping organizations with the diversity, equity, inclusion strategies, with their just overall approach to DEI as it relates to their organization, internally, externally, DEI communication, DEI training. I've been doing a lot of training, so I get a chance. Me and my team, majority of my team with Advisory 83 are they have doctorates like me. They're Dr. such and such, Dr. Thomas, Dr. Jones, a bunch of doctors, right? So we get to go in and basically tell people what to do. Anyway, but what I noticed was that many individuals who are trying to navigate the diversity, equity, inclusion space, or just trying to navigate this new norm, are needing help. They're needing one-on-one individual support in ways that they've not needed it in the past. Not just for their career, but really it's steeped in their career and needing that support and that help, but also really extending it out to the well-being of their overall lives. So I want to share, I've been in a couple of coaching sessions the past couple of weeks where I've coached individuals who either are working in the DEI space, they're entrepreneurs, or they are just trying to figure out what corporate America looks like for them now, particularly African American professionals. But of course, I have clients of all races, and many of them are stuck. Some are men and women who may be whiter in the corporate space and are trying to figure out, what do I do next? I want to get to this next level. I'm trying to navigate life post-COVID, although we're not officially post-COVID. I'm trying to navigate life now. I'm trying to navigate this new norm. What do I do? And I need someone to walk me along the process. And in doing so, what I've noticed is that people have been really antsy and anxious about the new year. I even posted a reel, I think last week, as one of my affirmations. You all know I do the podcast Affirmations of Excellence. So I posted a reel as an affirmation that it's okay not to feel the pressure, or not to want to respond to the pressure of ending the year strong. That it's okay to allow yourself the grace to end the year well, ending the year well financially, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, physically, right? You don't have to wait till January to start that Daniel fast, right? You can do it right now. So I want to give you a couple tips that I think are going to be really, really helpful, just to start to think through what it means to get ready for the new year. And then maybe next week I'll come back with kind of another set of tips. But many of us are making our wish list, or our to-do list, or our goal list for 2023. And there's some things that I want to share with you that I think they're going to be really helpful. What I do, here's my practice. Here's what I do. I am really intentional about writing things down. I use journals. I use books. I use Google Docs. I use Google spreadsheets. I'm really intentional about writing things down. Not because I'm super organized, because I do try to be organized, but mainly because I believe that it's important to, as the scripture says, write the vision and make it plain. And I can honestly testify and say that everything I have written down has come to pass. Even for, say, the past, I don't know, I started writing things down in 2007 is when I started writing things down. In fact, he'll probably see this now. He's probably not on right now, but he'll probably see this later. My brother, Corey Sparks, he was the first person that told me, hey, you got some goals, you need to write it down. And of course, me being the church girl that I am, I put prayer to it. I started to write out some things that I wanted to do spiritually, some healing work. This was years ago. This was early on. I want to say 2007, 2008. And I have been writing down my goals and being intentional about those things from day one, or ever since then. And as I write those things down, as I'm more intentional about meditating on those things, they're coming to pass. And they may not come to pass within the 12-month calendar year, but you can see glimpses of those things coming to pass as you work toward them. And you may even write your goals down and forget even that you wrote it down. And then you go back to your list and you see, wow, I accomplished that, right? I accomplished that. Not even realize I accomplished it. I didn't remember I wrote it down, but it's off the list and I got that done for the year. So I'm going to give you 4 things that I think you should be preparing for as you start to consider what should be on my to-do list, my wish list, my goal list for 2023. Again, I've seen so much success with this process. I've seen so much success with my clients in this process. Also, as I said, I've been coaching, doing a lot of one-on-one coaching the past couple weeks because everybody's trying to get ready for the new year. And again, I'm sensing my clients coming to me with a sense of anxiety and a level of uncertainty about what to do with their lives and their careers in this new year. In fact, I was with a client the other day, and the conversation was very centered around, how do I get this nonprofit off the ground? And as this client started to unpack some details with me about what that meant and what that looked like for them to launch their nonprofit, they had been trying for years to get it off the ground. And now they are taking a break from their job and taking an opportunity to invest in the nonprofit because they really believe passionately that this nonprofit is necessary for their local community and that this nonprofit can help save lives and transform lives. And it's a great concept. But the reality is, as we started to talk about what the client thought they needed to discuss, which was help me work through these challenges of getting my nonprofit launched. No. We needed to deal with the individual. It was some of the concepts and ideas and feelings and emotions that my client was struggling with that they couldn't let go of, or they weren't quite willing to address, that they didn't realize had a lot to do with the stall that they were dealing with in getting their nonprofit off the ground, right? It was all interrelated. So that's something that I think we have to consider. We don't necessarily have these compartmental lives, right? We are holistic beings. So every part of who we are is interconnected and interwoven. So my client thought, if you can coach me through some of my leadership challenges and having a nonprofit startup, that would be great. And what I ran into with this particular client was exactly the opposite. It was that, no, we need to walk you through some of your personal challenges, some of your feelings of resentment and regret and disappointment and feelings of defeat and feelings of victimization, right? Because essentially the people that you want to help cannot receive the help that you're going to give through your nonprofit if you're pouring from an empty cup. And not just that, the people that you need to help you run and get your nonprofit off the ground, a board, a team, whether they be contractors or volunteers, they need to see the best version of you so that you can lead effectively and they can believe in your vision. Because leaders don't just become leaders, right? They become leaders because they've been good followers, but also because since they've been such a good follower, they've learned how to lead effectively and they've learned how to be the kind of person that others want to follow. So let's take a look. I'm gonna pull up a document here just to kind of have some notes to make sure I'm giving you those 4 keys the way I want to give them to you. And then I'm gonna come back to another live, maybe sometime next week, because I know Christmas is first and then we'll get to the new year. But whatever you think you want to do for 2023, you need to be writing it down now. All right. Don't wait until the clock strikes midnight or clock strikes, or whatever it is. Don't wait until midnight. Like, have your list and the things that you want to accomplish, have them ready. If you're a person of faith, get ready to pray over those things. get ready to meditate over those things. If you're like me, you're going to fast for a week and drink nothing but water and green tea and let those things manifest, right? That's a strategy that I use. And then I take that first week to fast and pray over those things, drink water and green tea for that week. And then I'd go into the Daniel fast for the remainder of the month for those 21 days. So as you're thinking about 2023 and what you want your year to look like, it's time to acknowledge that we are in this new norm. I don't care that we're back outside. We back outside. I know. Doesn't matter that we're back outside. It doesn't matter that life looks like it might be similar to what it used to be or what it used to feel like. It doesn't matter that we're going back, that we're officially back to work in every way. We're back to school. We back completely. What matters is how you are returning to life. That's what matters. What matters is how you are returning to the norm of what we're faced with now versus what we saw pre-COVID. Because even as COVID was developing and we're all quarantining and we're all afraid and going through the emotions of what we experienced in COVID, we were also faced with a number of racial and social injustices that were thrown into our face and that we saw in ways and that made us ache in ways that it hadn't quite before. We saw Trayvon Martin, we saw Philando Castile, we saw Sandra Bland. But when we saw George Floyd and then Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor connected, those three things, in addition to the protests, the worldwide protests, the marches, we lost loved ones to COVID. We lost loved ones to other diseases and illnesses and accidents and didn't get to mourn them or bury them properly or memorialize them the way we generally would. We didn't get to interact with our loved ones the way that we wanted to. So do not take this lightly. We are still adjusting to a new norm, and we're going to adjust to a new norm. And for quite a while, some of you lost jobs. You had to rethink your career. Some of you quit jobs. You were part of the Great Resignation. So it's a lot that we had to contend with, right? So as you prepare 2023, before you make this to-do list, there are, I'll say, three things I want you to consider. I want you to first think about your values. Number one is your values. As you consider your values, I want you to consider what are the things at this very moment that you hold dear to you as a value. Do you value hard work? Do you value honesty? Do you value community? Do you value creativity? What are the things that are truly connected to you? Values are a means to an end, because values give you the framework for your character. They give you the framework for how you decide to show up in the world. So the first thing I want you to think about is taking an opportunity to reflect on your values and writing these things down. What are the things that you value most at this stage of your life? Do you value peace and quiet more now than you ever have? Do you value not having to work as hard as you used to, or working smarter and not harder? Do you value transparency in ways that you hadn't valued it before? Start to answer those questions for yourself. What are my personal values now? Now, as you think about those personal values, you're going to you may see them bubbling up in different ways. They're going to be the values that you hold dear that really some feel instrumental. Like you value things such as honesty and transparency and love and intentionality. Some things are more what I call terminal values. These terminal values are things that are related to how you interact with others and how others interact with you and what your life actually looks like. So freedom and self-respect, or as I said earlier, you value being able to come home at the end of the day and eat dinner, or to be able to sit with your dog at the end of the day. What are the things that you value? So Not just I value self-respect and I value honesty. That's beyond just explaining a value. I want you to talk about your true core values. I value honesty. I value self-respect. I value my faith. I value my family and friends. Cool. But then for your lifestyle, what do you value? So make that list and just kind of jot that down, or you can speak it to yourself, right? You can send yourself a voice note that today I value X, Y, and Z. These are the things I hold near and dear. These are the things that are life aspirations for me. Even if I don't have them right now, I have a value for them and I'm going to aspire to them. So that's the one thing I want you to start thinking about. And even again, grab a pencil, grab a pen, a piece of paper, a notebook, a journal, something of that nature. Even where do I have it? I don't have it in front of me. Even if you just want to grab like a Post-it note, like a sticky. I have one. I'm sitting at my desk. Even if you just want to grab something like this, this is just like a list of things I need to get. But if you want to grab this too, one of those, just jot it down. Again, there's power in there, the power of writing things down. Again, scripture, write the vision, make it plain, right? Even to that, the power, the energy of what is in your brain, going from your heart to your mind, to your hand, and then that hand going pen to paper, and then you being able to pick up the paper and look to see where that energy flowed down from is extremely powerful. So that's number one. Write down your vision. Number two, your values, those core things that you were raised with, that you were brought up with, that you've seen that are intrinsic to you. And then also those things that you value, those experiences you value, the lifestyle that you value, the comfort that you may value, right? The next thing I want you to start thinking about is your vision. Now we can think about vision in two ways. You can think about vision, particularly something as it relates to what I want to accomplish and how I visualize myself now versus how I want to visualize myself in the future and how I have this potential that I have, or this, what I know I'm capable of. I just hadn't seen it full-fledged yet, right? You can think about vision in that way as well. But I want you, as you think about vision, I want you to think about it in a couple ways. First, I want you to think about how to write down your vision in a way that is open and honest with yourself. As you write down what your vision is for you in 2023, only write down the things that you truly want for your life. I'm going to say that again. Only write down the things that you truly want for your life. Not the things you've seen on IG or on Netflix or on somebody else's live or reels, because that may not even be their real life, right? Trust me, I've run 2 PR agencies. I know smoke and mirrors when I see it. I know, as we say in Memphis, flogging when I see it, okay? So everything that we see on social media is not real, no pun intended. Everything we see on social media is not real. So everyone's life as they're portraying it is not real. So unfortunately, we have the idea of how we frame success and how we see success is conflated with a lot of different ideas that aren't really true, right? That aren't really authentic to who we are as individuals. A lot of the ways in which we define success is influenced by other people's lives, which in many ways may not even be their real life. And you don't know if it is a real life. You don't know what consequences they face. You don't know what difficulties they face. And you definitely don't know what it takes to be them, right? So as you go into 2023, the second thing I want you to write down is your vision. And as you write down your vision, be clear as you think out what your vision is for 2023. Be clear on what success looks like to you. Because again, we've been very, very, very influenced about what success looks like as a whole, or in general, what success looks like on this beautiful app that we're all using right now, right? but what does success look like to you? And I don't want you, as you write this down as a vision, in the section of vision, don't limit yourself. Don't tell yourself, oh, this is too much, or I can't achieve this, I can't do this. No. Write it down, right? If it is true to you, if it is authentic to who you are, write it down. So how would you articulate that? I want you to think about the ways to articulate your vision for 2023 and understanding that nothing is too much. Because if you aim low, you gon' achieve low. It's just, you have to truly aim high. So never say that's too much. Oh, I should not write down that I want to earn $1 million in business this year. Well, if you don't write it down, you can't achieve it, right? If you don't write it down, then you don't have anything to aim for. So write it down, and then you can figure out how to aim for it in a strategy, right, later. So don't think that something is too much. Here's something I also hear people feeling that this is where that piece comes from. I said earlier about the client that I was working with. We feel we've had these difficulties, we've had these pains, we've had these problems that we've dealt with that we're still working through, whether it comes from childhood, family, or even now as adults. And we believe that we are not good enough. Let me tell you something. I have encountered some of the most successful people. I have worked with some of the most successful people. I know some extremely successful people in an intimate friendship, intimate relationships, very connected to very wealthy, successful people. And on the outside, some of them, not all of them, most of them practice what I'm telling you to practice. But there's a segment of people who look successful and wealthy on the outside that very much carry a broken spirit and very much carry a sense of victimization and have a lot of unhealed hurt. And there's an idea that even though I've achieved these things, I don't deserve them. So as you write down your vision for 2023, please do not tell yourself and it's going to happen. You're going to be writing down what you think your vision is for 2023. And you're going to say, I don't deserve that. I'm not good enough for that. Who do I think I am? Who said I can achieve that? Listen, that negative self-talk is going to come up like in an unbelievable way. It's going to come up instantly as your brain, your heart, your brain is talking to your heart to tell you, your hand to write it down. Your synapses, the synapses, my medical folks, are firing off in your brain. And they're telling you to write this down. And that little boy, that little girl, that hurt person, that broken spirit is going to tell you not to write that down because it's going to say, I don't deserve that. I'm not good enough for that. So as you write down what you want to achieve for 2023 in your vision, please eliminate the mindset of what you don't deserve. Or, I could never accomplish that. I can't do that. I don't think I can do that. Please don't limit yourself. As you write down this vision for 2023, and again, it could just be a paragraph or a list of things, write in as much detail as possible. I mean, in as much detail as possible. And avoid generalities. Don't be general like, I'm going to be rich. I want to help people. I'm going to be healthy. No. You want to be as detailed as possible. You want to say, I want to vacation in the Caribbean over the summer for a week. Like, be very descriptive in what that vision is for yourself for 2023. Specifically write down, I will pay off 50% of my debt in 2023, including these things. I will finish my degree this year, or I will start my degree this year. I will give 10% of my salary or my income rather to charity. I will eat healthy this year, which includes uh, um, decreasing my sugar intake or my alcohol intake or eating less bread, whatever it is, whatever it is. As you're writing down that vision, make sure that you are being declarative in what that vision is. All right. So the first one was kind of jotting down what your values are. What do you value right now at this stage of your life? And some of the things will be things that you valued all of your life, but there will also be some things that you value now at this particular stage of your life. The next section is your vision. What do you envision for yourself? You're open, you're clear, you're portraying that in that statement. I like to say clear and portraying, open and allowing. I'm open to what will come, and I will allow whatever I declare to come. So as you look at that vision, just write those vision statements out and make sure you're saying, I will and I must. I always say I must whenever I write my yearly goals out at the end of the year, and then I meditate on them when the clock strikes 12. I always make sure that I say I must. And then I make a list of the things that I need to do in order to accomplish or create boundaries around the things that I don't want, which I call non-negotiables. And we'll talk about non-negotiables in another live. So what's the next one? Number 3, I told you, I said that we would do 4 sections. We're going to do 3 sections. Values, vision, and voice. Number 3 is voice. Your voice is inherent to who you are, and you have to find it. Finding your voice has to be less about what you do and more about who you are and how you speak things into existence. So with your vision, you're really, as I said earlier, with your voice, you're really now not just connecting mind and heart. You're now connecting mind and heart to your mouth, right? And speaking out the things that are clear to you, that are important to you, speaking out those values and living out that vision. So as you think about your voice, if I want you to think about this, what are the 3 to 5 key words that are associated with your voice? Meaning, what are the 3 to 4 things that came out of your vision, came out of your values, that are keywords? If someone were to Google these words in association with you, what would they be? So I'll give you an example. I have 5 keywords. My 5 keywords are culture, communication, diversity, change, and community. Those are my 5 keywords. And those 5 keywords for me, again, I have 5 keywords for myself that define my voice. Culture, communication, diversity, change, and community. Because again, as you think about what your voice is and how it's inherent to you, you want to consider, just for fun, think about it. We talk about keywords when we consider, and we talk about keywords in marketing and social media and in the PR world, which is where I come from. So as we talk about keywords, what are the keywords that you would use in let's just say a hashtag? Right? You're creating a hashtag for a post. What does this post mean? What is this post depicting? What is it articulating? What is it illustrating? And if someone were to hit that, click on that or hit that hashtag, they would see other things that are associated with that topic. These are your keywords. What are the 3 to 5 words that immediately have some kind of association with your voice? All right. And again, as you've written down your values, as you've written down your vision, now it's time to talk about your voice and how you articulate who you are, how you articulate what you want, and how you articulate how you want to serve. So define what those 3 to 5 keywords are, that if someone were to just randomly, let's just say someone put that one of your keywords in, immediately your face will pop up. Not exactly. I'm just giving that to you figuratively, but it's so connected and intertwined and just embedded in who you are. When someone says communication, they immediately think of Dr. Ariel Ellis. When someone says diversity, they immediately think of Dr. Ariel Ellis, right? So this is what you need to be considering as you are navigating through your values, vision, and voice for 2023. Again, as I've spent time with clients, I see the anxiety that a lot of clients have. A lot of my clients have anxiety over what the new year will bring, whether it's related to recession, whether it's related to inflation, whatever it's related to, and coming back into this new norm. And what should my life look like? Am I in the right job? Am I doing the right thing in my career? Am I going about my business the right way? Hey, I'm in the DE&I space, and I don't know if this is going to work for me. Help me along the way. And as I told you earlier, that client that I was with earlier this week, they were really working through some challenges. And it wasn't just that she was trying to get her nonprofit off the ground. It was that she was carrying some aches and pains that were hindering her from being successful in launching the nonprofit and getting the nonprofit off the ground. So as we go through this leadership coaching with our clients, I see the anxiety, I see the difficulty, I see the inability to, or not the inability, but just the concern of where I am in life. Am I at the right place? And how do I get to where I really want to be? And you cannot get to truly where you want to be professionally until you kind of deal with you and redefine you and readjust who you are and how you want to show up in this new world and this new norm that we're living in. So as you think about your 2023, I want you to consider your values. Get a pen, piece of paper, a notebook, a notepad, a journal, and start to re-articulate what do you value most. Whether it's your values that are core to who you are as a person, put those down for sure. But then also put down the lifestyle that you value. You value being able to come home and play with your dog. You value being able to work from home. You value being able to travel wherever you want. And you may not be able to do that right now exclusively the way you want to, but you've had a taste of it and you want more of it. Those are the things I want you to write down. Number 2, your vision. What are the things that you want to declare for your life in 2023? What does your vision look like? What does your, not necessarily goals, but I want you to articulate this in this framework. How do I see it? How do I see me? How do I see my family? I must and I will. Those statements should start off like that. I must and I will. And then later, what I will do in another live is I will give you some actual action steps that you can use in a set of kind of building out that goal list. And here's another reason, not just me spending time with clients. Here's another reason why it was important for me to, and I had a sense of urgency to do a live on this too. It was because not only spending time with the clients, but because as I'm walking through the process of being with clients, I also see how it's been effective for the work that they're trying to do and the way in which they're trying to live their lives. And it is important. It's not just important to know what you're going to do and what you want to do. It is important to know what you won't do so that you won't self-sabotage the thing that you need to do and need to accomplish. You have to know what your boundaries and your barriers and your non-negotiables are, right? And so as I said, one of the things I've always noticed is that every time I write it down, I accomplish it. Every time I write it down, it gets real, right? You write it down and you watch it get real. Right? So values, number 1, jotting down the things that you value. Number 2, writing down the vision. What is it that you see for yourself? And listen, as I said earlier, do not limit this. I want you to think as big and bold as possible. If it is a specific financial goal, if it's a health goal, if it is just I envision myself being able to travel at every quarter, or I envision myself being able to do blank, or I must do this. I want you to be able to write those things down and declare them. We always get tripped up on believing I don't deserve this, or I can't accomplish this, or this is too big. We always play ourselves small. We always play ourselves way too small. So that's number 2, writing down your vision. And then lastly, your voice. What are those keywords that stand out to you? If you were to put hashtags on your personality, what would they be? If you were to put hashtags on your personal mission statement, what are those words that would come up? And what you're going to see is a recurring theme between your values, your vision, and your voice. Once you get down to voice, you see that some of the things that you said in your values and your vision were aligned. Another thing that I want you to think about with your voice is if you were to actually write that personal mission statement, what are the keywords that would be there as well? And you may see again a recurring theme in what that could look like. So I'll come back next week, I guess. I don't know. This was just on my heart to do because I've been spending so much time with clients, my coaching clients, who have needed support and needed help to get ready for 2023. And they're carrying a lot. They're carrying, some are very, very successful and are carrying the concerns and the anxieties of the past 2 years, and wondering, the past 3 years almost, and wondering, what should I do? What should I do with this? Ariel, help me. Dr. Ellis, help me navigate this. So again, I want you to get a notepad, something like this. Really, I need to take, my brother gave me this. I need to tag this organization, or the sister who did this is called Her Therapy Space. He gave me this as a gift. So I need to tag them in something. But get a notepad. I have a ton of them just here in my office that I grab from time to time. Get a notepad, get a Google Doc. I prefer you use like old school pen and paper. I cannot find my sticky note, but my sticky pad, my post-it note pad, but get a sticky note. Get a small notepad, get a piece of paper, and jot down these things. As I said, when you write stuff down, it gets real, right? And again, as I'm spending time with clients, many of my clients are trying to figure out, because they're needing someone, of course, as I do in the coaching and the consulting, they're needing someone to walk them along the way and hold their hand along the way and get them from A to B. Folks are in a stage where they're trying to get unstuck. Right? How do I get unstuck and up? That's what I like to say. How do I get unstuck? y'all know I'm playing on something else when I'm saying that. How do I get unstuck and up? So that's the conversation. That's the work that I'm doing with individuals day after day after day. And I'm also doing that work with corporations and groups. So there are companies that will ask me and my team to come in and spend time with a group of their leaders to help them walk through their journey together as leaders inside of the organization. So get your sheet of paper, get your pen, start to write down, what are my values? What are the things that I truly, truly, truly value at this stage of my life? It can be my core values as an individual, and then also the lifestyle, the freedoms, the joys that I value of life. Then I want you to write down your vision. What are the things I envision for myself? Starting off with 2 phrases, 2 verbs. I will, or I must. Don't play yourself small. Don't think you can't do it. Don't say this is too big, I'm not going to write it down. Be as big as you can. Dream as big as possible. Write it down and watch it go down on the paper. Because again, what comes from the head then goes to the heart, or from the heart to the head and then to the hand. That energy, that power, and placing it on the paper is what gets it done. And I'm not talking about I don't do vision board parties, although I have a vision board. I don't do the vision board parties. No shade to anybody who does. But I do believe in the power of manifestation. And as I work with my clients on getting them to walking them through their leadership journey, it is very, very important to make sure that they're writing things down. So vision. I must, I will. I must, I will. I must, I will. I must make sure that I spend more time with my grandmother and my grandfather, meaning I am with them. I go visit them at least one Saturday a month or one Sunday a month. I must make sure that I am volunteering at the homeless shelter at least 4 times a year. I must pay off 20% of my credit card debt or get my credit card debt down to 20% utilization by the end of the year. Whatever that is, that's what I want you to write down. That is your vision. I must and I will. Number 3, your voice. How are you articulating who you are at this stage of your life? How are you expressing and explaining your brand? What are the 3 to 5 keywords? Just say, if someone were to Google your name, what words would come up? Not based on what you do for a living, not based on how you center your personal brand, because as we know, people can put whatever they want on the internet and on social media. But I want you to specifically think about the keywords that are connected to your personal mission statement. If you were to write a personal mission statement, what words would truly define who you are? If someone were to say one word, what would that word be that would immediately make them think of you? Okay? So, values, vision, and voice. So I'm coming back. I've been on here long enough with you, I think. I haven't been on live in a long time. But I'm going to do more of these because, again, I see the need for it. My clients are asking for it. Our DEI clients, the individuals are coming and saying, Dr. Ellis, I need a coach. I need somebody to walk me through my leadership journey. And we have the curriculum, so we do the work with them. But anyway, I'm going to come back next week and I'm going to give you more meat to this process because there's a whole lot more in this process. But just start with getting a pen and paper and literally getting serious, writing it down. What are my values at this stage of my life? What are my values? What do I value most? What is my vision? What are the things that I envision myself doing and being and accomplishing in 2023? Not necessarily goals, but just what are the things I must and I will? I must blank, I will blank. And then number 3, my voice. How am I articulating who I am at this stage of my life? How are my values and how is my vision being expressed and explained through my voice? And your voice isn't just what comes out of your mouth. Your voice is also what comes out of your fingers when you're typing and when you're texting and when you're posting what you post on social media. It is a representation of you. It is inherent to who you are. As I said, your voice is more about, less about what you can do, and it's more about who you are and how you speak things into existence. So write those sentences down. What are the ways that you can inherently carry out your voice and express your voice? And then use those 3 to 5 keywords to really center your voice in those things. All right. So I'm going to end here, but I'm grateful for those of you who are watching this. If you're watching it live, great. If you are watching the replay, which majority of you are watching the replay, I'm really, really grateful for you to be able to do that. If you do need some help, feel free to DM me. As I said, I'm spending a lot of time with my coaching clients and consulting clients who are trying to figure out, how do I get ready for 2023? I have so much anxiety. There's been so much has gone on since 2020. I don't know what my life should look like. I don't know what my career should look like. Help me. I am not a life coach. I am not a therapist. Let me put that disclaimer out there. But because of the work that we do, my company and I do, and my team and I have do in the DEI space and the communication space and in the leadership space, we've been working with more and more individuals and helping them walk through this new norm and this new season of all of our lives. So pen and paper, I'm going to say it one more time, pen and paper, whether it's a journal, a notebook like this one, whether it is a sticky notepad or whether it's just a sheet of paper. Your values. One, your values. What do I value most at this stage of my life? 2, your vision. What do I envision myself doing and being for 2023? Starting those statements off with I will and I must. And then 3, my voice. What words define my voice as I articulate who I am, as I show up in the world? What words define my voice? If I were to position a personal mission statement, what words would be used in that mission statement? What are my key words? If someone were to say a one word, they would immediately think of my name. They would immediately think of my face. I'm going to stop here, but I'm grateful for you. Feel free to DM me, or you can email me at hello@arielellis.com. My email for the email function is on my page. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I'm going to come back soon with kind of a part 2 of digging in deeper of how you can really set your intentions to get ready for 2023. All right. Thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing from you all.